Hello, Sangha. Welcome to the Abbots Address. Today is Monday, June 29th. I didn't put an Abbots Address together last Friday because I was on retreat with Gelik Rinpoche and the Jewel Heart Sangha up in Ann Arbor. And Saturday I had a weapons seminar all day, and Sunday we had services and a couple of meetings. One meeting was about the summer retreat that's happening in August, and then the next one was the Leadership Council meeting. So tons of activities for me. So a question that came up that I'd like to chat about a little bit. Some people saw pictures that I put on my Facebook of me up there with Gelik Rinpoche and Reverend Dawn and you know, Tibetan stuff going on, and some people are wondering, hey, what's going on with the whole Tibetan thing that you're there, and you know, what's happening. So basically, what's happening is that I'm learning. I'm at the moment deeply immersed in the study of the Pali Canon. I'm reviewing thoroughly Bhikkhu Bodhi's translations of the different suttas that we have. And so the Theravadan practice and view is there, and it's very interesting to me and very nourishing. And I'm finding a lot of interest there, and that's different, again, from the kind of things that the Tibetan tradition has to offer, although obviously they're all related. You know, we're all in the same family. But what I'm basically finding is that, you know, having a deep root in the Zen tradition, in fact, holding the Zen tradition, I'm able to really look at these different traditions of Buddhist practice and to find things there that are very nourishing and very helpful. A lot of it is saying the same things in different ways, which is always interesting, and some of it is putting a different slant on things that we've seen before. Some of it's very different, and it challenges me, and sometimes I, you know, react to the material by agreeing or maybe feeling differently about things, but it's part of my growth, basically, as a person, as a practitioner of the Dharma. As one of our ancestors said, if there's a child, no matter how young they are, I'm happy to learn from them if they have something to teach. And if there's an old person, you know, of 100 years of age, if I have something I can offer them, I'm happy to do so. And at the time when our ancestor in the Zen tradition said that, that was very contrary to the Confucian assumptions about how older and younger generations relate to each other, basically bucking any cultural tradition and saying, look, if I can help, I'm going to help. If I can learn, I'm going to learn. Doesn't matter who's host and who's guest, who's elder and who's junior. And this view is not new, I don't think, but I think we have a new opportunity for this view to really take root here in the West. As I've mentioned before, I think it's one of the characteristics of Generation X teachers, at least as far as I've encountered it at the meetings that we have, that we're very interested to learn about each other's traditions. Now, mind you, this is not the same thing. There was a person I met at one of these conferences who basically was kind of like moving around between all these different traditions and never really getting deeply into any of them, and thinking that that was, you know, the way to go. And actually, that's not the way to go, in my view. In my view, you know, if you go around and get a first-degree black belt in Taekwondo, and you get a first-degree black belt in Judo, and you get a first-degree black belt in Karate, and you get a first-degree black belt in Aikido or whatever, you're basically a beginning-level practitioner at 4 different arts. That's not at all the same thing as having a 4th-degree black belt in one art. Totally not. So it's the same thing in martial art. Myself, as a martial artist, I'm a 5th-degree black belt in Aikido, which is, you know, a good rank. It's not as far up as the thing goes. 7th down is Shihan. But there, too, I can look at different arts. I've studied different martial arts, and it's very different for me now that I've got some depth in my root tradition of Aikido. I can be nourished by insights that come from Qigong or Wing Chun or any other art. I mean, this is, you know, there's a lot there. And of course, for me, what makes that real, again, as I've asserted several times, is the core holding of a traditional path, which we do here. Same thing in music. Music is music, you know, but being able to play very thoroughly in one tradition, understanding one vocabulary, one way of practicing, and being able to play that as well as anybody can play it, Now you can go and branch out and play everything. Anything that's human is playable. So for me, it's like that, and I fully expect that as long as I'm breathing and as long as I'm able to, I'll continue to seek nourishment and offer nourishment in any different way and place that it's available. And basically, at bottom line, I really love the Dharma, and I love the Sangha, and I love the teachers, and I love the practice, and I really relish in all the different forms and flavors of practice, and hold up the value of traditional training and traditional practice, and really having a thorough grounding in the root practice. So there we are, and that's a little bit about that. In terms of announcements, there's a summer leadership team that's working very diligently to prepare for the summer retreat that will be happening here at the farm. The dates for that are August 10th through the 16th. And we really hope that everybody will come and participate in this. The Jukai initiates will be there for sure, those who are taking the Bodhisattva precepts and sowing the Raksu. But the big hope is that everybody comes and practices and bears witness and gets involved in the retreat. There'll be more announcements about that forthcoming, to be sure, in the coming weeks. One of them is please register. We actually have a registration form. Let's use it. It's really helpful for the planning committee. Another sort of business announcement is the Leadership Council in our community flips over basically every year. It's a one-year term of service. And then we see who on council would like to continue, who would like to take a break or shuffle off for a year or what have you. So there's a couple of spots open for the Leadership Council. If you've received a Jukai and you're interested in potentially serving on Leadership Council, you can send me a note and we can have some conversation about that. Okay, thank you everybody for your practice. Delighted to be here, delighted to be practicing again with you, and we'll see you in the Zendo.